for securement. I've made absolutely sure this thing could not go anywhere. King Kong himself wouldn't even want to fuck with this. I got a pair of X chains and a pair of binders coming down to the middle of the trailer. I then have one chain, one binder that is going up to a clevis, and that just hooks in at the little chain slot on the trailer. A couple more flags on this axle. The excess of that chain, or that previous chain, I just ran it to one of the hooks and brought it down to a binder. So essentially I'm using one chain with two binders. Pretty standard the way I do that. As long as you have slack in between, then it will count as two individual securement points. I have another one chain, two binders. And same thing, another one chain, two binders coming down to the trailer. These T-hooks, J-hooks, whatever the heck you want to call them, they actually work great on these combines. Another flag on this axle, and this is actually the widest point of these rear axles. And I have another one of my clevises coming down to a chain, and again it's just in the chain slot on the trailer with a binder. All of this is just my excess chain. It's just what I did to get it up out of the way. I ran it up through the ring on the trailer, brought it back down on itself, zip tie, and I have one chain, one binder. "12-foot wide." Picked up this transformer up by LA. Is heading over to Memphis, Tennessee. Thing is just under 10 foot wide, not very big. I need to get a couple more of these larger shackles. I have 6 of the smaller ones, but the small ones you can't get your chain in with the way these are set up. So that's my shopping list of things I need to get, is a few more of the really big shackles. Legal height, legal weight. I just have the 4 chains, 4 binders. Not having the additional shackles, I had to get creative and do some shit I don't like doing, but it works. It gives me 4 points of securement on the front, 4 on the back. I got an X chain toward the front. I get half credit for each one of those 2 chains that are in the X. Then I got these chains coming over the axle. That is 1 chain, 1 binder. I get full credit for each one of those 2. And at the back, I have 2 chains in an X with 2 binders. Again, just half credit. And then I'm going to do the same thing, possibly. Oh, I got a lot of different hydraulics and brake lines and crap in the way back here, so I got to figure something else out. I don't want to get up into these lines, so I got to see what my options are. So I came up with a plan to keep that chain away from all of the brake lines and all that fun shit, all the steering mechanisms. Ran it over the axle there and just brought it down to the trailer. So 1 chain, 1 binder, same thing on the other side. And in that configuration I have, or will get, full credit for it, so that is good. Now, one thing you might notice is I do have this sprayer sitting off center ever so slightly. Currently working on getting the cab net put on it. Picked it up yesterday, about 19 miles from the truck stop. Just got my T-hooks, 2 chains, 2 binders, and then 2 chains in the necks with 2 binders, just coming back down. Then with the excess, I got rid of it by putting it over the outrigger boards. With the chains in the back, I actually wrapped around this substantial hunk of metal because I do not trust the way these look. They're bent and they don't look all that great to me, so I'm not gonna mess with it. Now I picked up this Cat 938 in North Carolina. I just have the 1 chain, 1 binder coming off the back, and then 1 chain with 2 binders. And my slack is held in with a bungee or a couple of them. Pretty much same thing I do with all of these. Fairly simple. The machine's only about 33,000 pounds. In the middle I have 1 chain, 1 binder, but the articulation is locked out. And I just have 2 chains, 2 binders, and an X coming down to the trailer. Got my little piece of cut strap underneath my 2 chains so I don't have my chains touching. Heading out to Utah with this, and then over the bucket I got 1 chain and 1 binder, and I got pieces of carpeting that I use to pad it so it doesn't scrap up the paint on this thing. And the articulation is locked out on it.